That's according to a survey of 600 residents conducted by a Democratic polling firm. The survey also found that many people want to shift money away from expanding roads to making transit safer. Democratic State Representative Mary Beth Canty says this could save both the agencies and riders money.
It's not a system that works for most people. And I think we have to be able to find ways to modify so that we can adjust to the way that people actually need to use transit.
There's an effort in Springfield to combine the Chicago region's 3 transit agencies into the Metropolitan Mobility Authority. I'm Mawa Iqbal.
Doug Shapiro's research team at the National Student Clearinghouse found the number of returning students and high school students taking college credits is up. And the number of freshmen aged 25 and older has increased more than a third since 2022.
This is a really interesting phenomenon. We don't know why that's occurring, but we do know that in terms of overall numbers, they're still very small compared to the number of traditional age students.
Shapiro calls the increase among older age freshmen remarkable, but not enough to make up for the lack of 18 and 19-year-olds starting college. Lisa Corian Phillip, WBEZ News.
You see some states even rewarding the individuals coming to the United States illegally. You have Illinois and New York providing preloaded debit cards with money on it. You have hotels, you have food stamps, you have housing, you have all these luxuries that many Americans can't even receive right now.
I'm meteorologist Andrew Pritchard with your IPM News forecast for Champaign-Urbana. Today, look for sunny skies with a high of 67 degrees and a southeast wind 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, partly cloudy with a chance of rain after midnight and a low of 50 degrees, a southeast wind 5 to 15 miles per hour. Tomorrow, a chance of rain in the morning, otherwise partly cloudy with a high of 70 degrees, a west wind 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tomorrow night, clear skies with a low of 42 degrees, a north wind 5 to 10 miles per hour, and for Saturday, sunny with a high of 62 degrees and a north wind 5 to 10 miles per hour.
Next time on the 21st show, Hispanic and Latino voters have historically favored Democrats, but Donald Trump has cut into that support, which polling suggests is the lowest it's been in 20 years. We'll talk about why more Latinos are voting Republican and what it could mean for this year's election. I'm Brian Mackey. That's next time on the 21st show. Join us.
Here, in the test kitchen for good meat in Alameda, California, they're frying chicken.
Like I said, I like to get it a little crispy on the edges there.
Joshua Hyman is the company's sales and marketing chief. He's demonstrating Good Meat's cultivated meat product. It's part plant-based meat substitute and part chicken meat that's grown from chicken cells outside a chicken's body in a bioreactor.
It's really simple. You just cook it like you would cook any normal piece of conventional chicken.
Good Meat is one of 2 cultivated meat products approved for sale back in 2023 by the Food and Drug Administration and the U.S. Department of Agriculture. Cultivated meat is still years away from a mass market, but Nebraska Governor Jim Pillen sees it as a threat to livestock producers.
Fake meat, petri dish meat, lab-grown meat, bioreactors, to just sit back and hope that doesn't happen, hope's not a very good strategic decision.
Governor Pillen, whose family owns Nebraska's largest pork-producing operation, ordered restrictions on the sale and labeling of cultivated meat in his state, and he's backing legislation to ban it altogether. Another ban has been proposed in Illinois, where Republican State Representative Chris Miller also sees cultivated meat as a threat to farmers. He's against any government favor being shown to the lab-grown product, such as the state tax breaks announced last year for Upside Foods' plans to build a cultivated meat plant in the Chicago suburbs.
If they want to produce fake meat, then have at it, but I don't think it should be subsidized by the taxpayers and by our government to put them in competition against the ranchers and farmers that are doing a great job of producing protein here in the U.S.
Bans on cultivated meat are already the law in Florida and Alabama, while Iowa has passed restrictions on its sale and labeling. And other states, such as Kentucky, have considered bans as well. Good Meat CEO Josh Tetrick calls it political calculus. He says in some states, politicians are trying to make cultivated meat a wedge issue.
Not ideal that it's become sort of a cultural thing in those states. But my hope is, as is usually the case, if you make something that most Americans and consumers really want to buy, they'll do it, and the politicians will adjust.
The National Cattlemen's Beef Association, which represents cattle farmers and ranchers, says consumers will choose traditional beef. Director of Government Affairs Sigrid Johannes says that's if the packaging makes it clear which is which. The association wants a federal labeling law, which would mark cultivated meat as imitation.
Our perspective is give people all the information, make sure that it's very clear so that they can make a choice when they go to purchase their groceries for the week.
Proponents of cultivated meat say it's got a smaller carbon footprint than meat from the farm and doesn't require the slaughter of animals. And some experts believe it will be needed to supplement meat that comes from livestock as global demand increases. Professor Thomas Hawk studies cultivated meat technology at McMaster University in Hamilton, Canada. He says eventually cultivated meat could be cheaper than meat that comes from a farm.
So the idea is if you can afford to purchase meat that's raised in the traditional way, and that's your choice, that's great. If you can't, this is an alternative for you.
As efforts to ban cultivated meat heat up in the U.S., the matter may be decided in the courts. Upside Foods, the other company with federal approval to sell cultivated meat, has filed a lawsuit against the Florida ban. I'm Jim Meadows, IPM News.